All right. Oh, well, I think this picture of me just shows up in this corner no matter what I do. Okay, great. Let's do this. Octonauts, let's do this. Um, Again, cameras here, big monitors here, so I'm looking this way, but you're over there. Sometimes I'll try to look at you. Okay. So first thing that we want to do. Let me come over here. So I'm working on what this assignment should be. So these are the features I figured I would show you how to do, and then you'll go and do these. You'll have the videos to draw on, but you won't have the actual code. So you can like either try to add these yourself, or if you want to follow along with the video, that's fine. But this is so that you get a chance to sort of work with a larger code base. You know, it's like 350 lines for one file, and I don't know, probably, I don't know, however many lines for the other file. These are the features I think I want you to add anyway. And then I'm trying to figure out like what other features you might want to add. So I wanted to, and I'm being optimistic with time. I only have like 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to do these two things. So the first thing is I want to move configuration details into a configuration file. And the reason I want to do that is looking at this simple server, right? I'm looking at this and I'm like, especially as you get down here, you know, I don't know, there's a list of these, but it's like a variable, and then this I might leave, but we'll see. But this is just a key value pair. Like this doesn't have to be like this. This could be in a file. And so what I want is to be able to like, okay, start the web server and then read all the configuration information out of the file. That way, if you want to like add a new mapping from, you know, some new file type to the whatever the MIME type is or whatever, that's actually just information for the browser. The server doesn't really do anything differently. Like it loads the file of the appropriate type, and then it like sends the bytes to the client, but it sets the content type to the appropriate type for the client, right? And then the client sees the content type and says, oh, this is an HTML page. I need to render it like an HTML page, or this is a PDF. I need to render it like a PDF, or this is a video, so I need to open up my video player, or whatever it is. So to add new content types, the server doesn't really need to change anything other than just knowing, oh, this new file ending means this content type, you know, which I will tell the client about, the web browser, and then the browser will figure out the details. So it doesn't really make sense to have to like recompile the web server. You could like shut down, you could like edit this text file, shut down the web server, start it up again, and everything's just exactly the same. In general, we don't recompile servers. If we need to reconfigure a server, we change a text file or an XML file, or XML is a type of text. It looks like HTML, but it's stricter, or a JSON file. In this case, we're going to use JSON. So we change some configuration file, and that's typically how we're going to change the configuration of a server. We're not going to like go in and edit the code and recompile it. Nobody who's running, you know, Apache or like Nginx or whatever the big web servers are these days is going in and like recompiling it regularly every time they change some setting. You go in and you change the text file. So I want to stick all of this into a text file. And so I got to decide what I want that, like where I want to put that. LS. I guess I can just read it right out of here. It's probably fine. Let me see what branch I'm on, because this needs to be on the solution branch. That's fine. Okay, so what do we want to call it? Config.json. That seems fine. Code config.json. We need to figure out like what format we want it to be in. I don't know. Probably like this. And what are we configuring? MIME types? Okay, I don't know. We'll call it MIME types, and this will be itself a list of mappings. And I think that I can just copy this. I can't copy paste it directly, and I'll show you why. This isn't quite what I'm looking for. I need these to be, basically what I need these to look like is this. This is the key and this is the value, right? I think that's what I need these to look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to do find and replace. And I want to replace open. Oh, I'll have to backslash it. I want to replace this with nothing. Okay, good. I want to replace a comma with space quote. Good. Oh, and this is itself a mapping, right? So here, what? No, I literally didn't want to replace all of them. I want to replace some of them. Oh, and there were commas here. Son of a gun. Okay. Undo, 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 undo. I don't want to replace all the commas. I want to replace the commas. Here's how we'll do it. Okay. I want to replace comma space. Yeah. I want to replace comma space with space colon space. Boop. That's good. Now I want to replace closing thingity with nothing. Whoop. Okay, cool. Now I got to put this back in. This needs to be here. This needs to be here. Looks good. This goes here. This goes here. Good. We now have a config file that says MIME types, and then it's basically a dictionary. I like this. This is not too bad. This is not too bad. So now I need to figure out how to read this in my server. Now, I don't want to read this in the server because the server does a lot of things and I don't want that. So here's what I'm going to do. If you notice over here, I had test JSON and test server. I had these two static methods. And then down here, we're calling test server and we're not calling test JSON. And test server just like runs the server, that's like kind of what this does. Well, suppose we want to like, probably we could have a separate file and like run the separate file, but I didn't feel like doing that. I just had like two methods and then I'll, so like, I don't want to run the server. I just want to run the test JSON method. And then up here, like, this is how it was like reading books and reading, also TV shows and whatever. This is where I was testing my deserialization, but I actually want to do my deserialization here as well. And what I have to figure out is what am I deserializing? Well, I don't know. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this test JSON2, and then I'm going to do static void test JSON. I've heard this pronounced Jason and JSON. I don't know. I just say Jason because I'm a big fan of the Argonauts. Jason and the Argonauts. I'm not an expert on Greek mythology. I think it's Greek. I don't know. So here's my challenge. Books, if we look at this was like pretty clearly a list of books where this was like what a book looks like. What I'm actually trying to deserialize here is actually a dictionary. So from this config file, like I want this to be a dictionary. So MIME types should be a dictionary. So I don't know. Let me just ask the internet. So C# deserialize dictionary from JSON, not form, from JSON. Maybe this will tell me how to do it. How can I deserialize JSON to a simple dictionary string to string? I'm not trying to into strongly typed. Yeah, no shit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say bad words on YouTube. I don't know. Who cares? It's not a bad word. It's totally fine. I can just do it this way. That's fine. Here's the challenge though. Um, here's the challenge. Do I want to have like, here's what I want. Here's what I want. I'll tell you what I want. What I want is to have a config file that has MIME types. That's a dictionary. But I also want to have everything in the config file, right? I want to have not just this. I want to also have this, right? Like I want to list these out in the config file, but I want that to be a different part of it. And I also potentially want this in my config file. So I want to say like, hey, MIME types is a dictionary, but you know, I don't know, whatever this would be. What did we call this? We called this index files. Okay, great. I want index files to be a list of possible index files, you know, index.html and index.htm and default.html and default.htm and whatever other stuff people need to put in there, we can put in there. Yeah, so this would deserialize to a list, like a list of strings. So I wanna be able to do that. So how would I do that? I guess I could have a config class that has these variables in it. That would work. Hmm. 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 Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Because I didn't prep this. Like I haven't done this yet. I was just like, I would like to do this and I will put it on video and you can see that I too am a total idiot and don't know anything. But here's what I would like to do. I would like to like, okay, this I'll need. And then, well, okay, I'm just gonna copy all this and then make some modifications, some moddies. I don't know if people call modifications moddies. They probably don't. This isn't in JSON. This is just here. I don't know why I need the @ sign there. I don't think I do. File read all text. And then it's not going to be, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do code config.cs. This is a configuration thing. I'm going to say class config. This is a server config. And I'm going to have let me think. Public dictionary from, yeah, string to string, but it's not going to be called book. Autocomplete, fancy pants autocomplete. Oh, I gotta move this so I can close this. Yeah, you go away for now. But this is going to be called MIME. Nope. MIME. Nope. MIME mappings. And I'm going to also do public. Can it deserialize as an array? It probably can't. It probably has to be list of string. And what am I going to call that? Well, what did I call it in here? I called it index files. So I'm going to call this index files. And I'll say get set. Okay, so now the idea is I've created this class that kind of maps these things or matches these things. And I'm going to try to deserialize that from here. And see if, so this isn't books anymore. This is now my config. And it's not going to be a list of books. It's going to be a config. And I don't know. Now I'm going to run this. So this is going to be .NET run. Oh, and then I should probably, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's print something out. Well, it wasn't called HTML. Does this understand that that quote isn't part of that? Wouldn't that be amazing? How does it know that this quote isn't config? Well, we want the MIME mappings. Let's just do all keys and see if that works. Hold on. I don't know. Let's see if that does anything. There's no way this runs. Yeah, there's no way. Dictionary string to string does not contain a definition for all keys. Oh, really? Well, that's not too bad. Nope, that's not what I wanted. C#, all keys. Dictionary, get all keys. Oh, let's see. Tell me. Right. Just say keys. Huh, well, crikey. How hard can this be? Keys. I don't know why I said all keys. That was weird, right? Why did I do that? Who knows? Okay, well, that's a plus. Null pointer, null reference. Object reference. Okay, well, it ran. All this stuff ran. Ish. Wait, yeah, there's the .NET run. All these are just warnings. These are all dereference of a possible null reference. Maybe someday I'll look into this, but I haven't yet. Null reference, object reference not set to an instance. Line 12. Well, I'm sure that's the line that's doing the dereferencing. String args. Program CS line 71, which calls into line 12. It's here. Okay, so this MIME, because I called it MIME types, not MIME mappings. Duh. MIME mappings. Yeah, well, so the deserialization worked, but it assigned this to nothing because it couldn't find crikey. MIME types. You know what though? I want this to be capital index files. Oh, here's Bundy. We've got a meeting. I will be right there. MIME. This is gonna work, and then I can stop this video. This is gonna work. Once this works, we're like halfway there. Oh man. Oh man, look at that. It's a generic dictionary of keys, blah, 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 blah. There's more work to do, but oh, wait, let's also do. Wow. God, you just know me, GitHub thingity. GitHub. Yeah, well, whatever. A generic list. Oh, fine. Okay. Just get me what's at index 0 and what's at, I don't know, whack quote, HTML whack quote. Okay, good. Let's just do that. And then I'm gonna go to this meet. Oh, what? Oh, well, maybe. Okay. I'd be amazed if this, like, how is it that I can just have quotes inside here? How does it know? How is .NET this smart? Well, that didn't work. The variable cannot apply indexing blup blup to an expression of blup blup key. Oh no, not to the keys. No, not to the keys. To the dictionary itself. Yeah. Okay. Now, why did I end up with a weird? That's not going to work. Yeah. Okay. This is amazing. Yeah, it works. So a bunch of things work. You can somehow have quotes in here, which seems insane, but you can. And all of this stuff works. So basically, I'm creating a config class that kind of matches my JSON format. And so what I'll do is I'll read this in, and then I'll like either hand off a config instance to my server, and then the server will just like look at its config instance, or I'll pull the variables out and put them into the parts of my server that need them. I'll do one of those two things. Okay, and now I'm going to stop this video, and we're good. Thanks for watching.